Year is 2022, and the hottest gadget is a Tamagotchi from the 90s that's all grown up. They went to a STEM college and got an electrical engineering degree, and now they have a keen interest in hacking and RF stuff and kind of pranking and messing with technologies that we take for granted in terms of like securing our buildings and our cars. This is a Flipper Zero. It is a Tamagotchi, basically, a little cute dolphin on the screen. Mine's called Woo Skult. He's level 2, by the way. And what you do with this device is interface with RF technology, RFID technology, physical things like called eye buttons, and infrared. Earlier this month, I posted a video, a short on YouTube here, on me going to the local grocery store and in the parking lot using the Flipper Zero to open the charging ports on Tesla vehicles. Now, while a couple people were very upset with the fact I did that, I must let everyone know that the Tesla is smart enough that if it's not getting charged, it then closes its door in relatively short order, a couple of minutes. So no danger, there was no rain or anything like that, although the connector's sealed and whatnot. But that's what this guy does. What I had done was I copied in a small script onto the micro SD card, put it in this device, and then used its sub-gigahertz radio to transmit a signal. That signal was picked up by the Tesla because the Tesla thought, hey, that's the charge door button on my owner's remote, and boop, open the door. That's what this device does. It's basically a replay device. So you could take an RF signal coming in, it will copy it, save it, and then you can play it back. With its infrared, I can take a remote, click it in front of it, I can copy that signal and play it back. That's what this does, but with more options in regards to where you get that data from and which data you can push out. Let me show you another example. The idea with all of this is once you have them recorded, so again, if we go back to this NFC tag, right, I can go back and record this guy. And then at that point, I can emulate it back. And now I'm pretending to be this token. And that's the whole point of this device, is that it's receiving signals in via its sensors, whether it's the little pins on the side for the I button or even the GPIO to a degree, but largely your NFC and your sub-gigahertz receiver and transmitter. The Flipper Zero is available off of the Flipper website. Link is in the description. I'm not affiliated with Flipper. They run for about $160. They are pretty difficult to get on the website, and that has caused a massive influx in the resellers market. That black model in particular, I saw some listings as recently as a couple weeks ago for over $1,000. That is insane. Further, they've had recent issues in actually getting the devices into the United States for shipping to consumers due to some government interest in what is actually all going on with this device. In a lot of ways, the Flipper Zero is something kind of new to the market. Sure, devices like these exist. I would implore you to go check out the Hack 5 channel and the wonderful devices they make. There's something called the Ponagotchi, which I also have, that messes with Wi-Fi and some other things. There are a ton of devices that do what the Flipper Zero does, but this is kind of like the first one where a lot of these features are all put together and adds a really nice interface and easy to control nature. Plus, it's just really a lot of fun, and I think encourages particularly younger people to get into the world of what we old-timers, I guess, would call hacking in the original sense. Hacking used to mean figuring out how things worked, taking things apart to determine what made them tick. Taking apart your dad's drill and trying to put it back together and realizing you have a couple screws left over was how I grew up in wanting to get involved in engineering and kind of my interest in trying to figure out how things work. With the proliferation of electronics in our society, it's just inevitable that kids and younger people, and still me, I also like to do this too, want to understand how things work, and devices like this allow us to do so through experimentation and discovery of what's capable when you have a device like this. Let's replicate an RF device. I have a little transmitter that goes to a power supply that when I push power, it turns on this RCA remote tuner control. So if I click off, on, you get the idea. Pretty straightforward. Well, the Flipper, it can clone that with its sub-gigahertz receiver and transmitter. So let's first receive that signal. Let's figure out where it's at. We'll use the frequency analyzer to do that. All right, found something there. Sometimes where you transmit from, it can vary a bit. Okay, so we'll take this one. I am using a custom firmware, which allows me to center click. The unit will vibrate. Now, if I go back out of here, let's go up to the read section. So we're going to be centralized on 4.388 megahertz, modulation AM 650, and we're going to transmit. And hey, it found it. Let's click the off button as well. Okay, so now we have a couple of different transmissions, B4, B2, B4, B2. I'm going to put this aside on the flipper. Now I'm going to transmit B2, which I believe was that off signal. Send, and it turned it off. And if I go back, B4 should be on. We'll send it, and now it's on. You can use this to transmit any code. You can save it off, save it whatever name you want for a unit, as long as it's one of a few modulation types. And let me go back to configuration here. We have a couple different frequencies that we can go through, from 300 megahertz all the way up to 900 megahertz, and there's 4 different modulation steps: AM 270, 650, FM 238, and 476. So somewhat limited, but it'll do frequency hopping, it will detect, it will try to do some things to make your life a little bit easier. And you can always just receive raw as well. So if we start receiving, pretty low powered transmitter this. And we can do simple things like just copy an NFC tag. So let's grab my little friend Cloud here. This is a Mimo, an Amiibo, I forgot, Nintendo Amiibo. So you could have a whole list of these. In fact, there's people that just copy the RFID tags and you can save them and load them onto the SD card. That way, if you go to emulate later, you can always just click on emulate, and you're now transmitting Cloud's NFC tag if you were playing a game of Final Fantasy or whatnot, or Smash Brothers. Now, regarding the legality, just like bolt cutters and even lockpicks and simple drills, you could use those things to commit a crime, a physical entering of someone else's property. There are some instances where you could use a Flipper Zero illegally to acquire someone's information, like a credit card number or a room key for a hotel or a badge ID, like one of those RFID badges that people have. Yeah, the Flipper Zero could copy that if you touched it up against somebody's badge. So yes, there is a legal tightrope that we're walking with devices like these, but at the same time, I wouldn't ever not want to have a device like this be on the market for legal purposes. So that means parents, if your child is asking you to get them a Flipper Zero sometime in 2022 or 2023, keep an eye on them with what they're doing with it. They can actually get themselves into some amount of trouble. You can also do 125 kilohertz RFID tags. We have I button, which is this guy. So if we read it, it'll tell me, yep, it's doing something. This particular one is blank, but it's acknowledged as being real, so that's good. And if we wanted to, we could save that, or we could write to it. Let's write it. So if we made a copy of an I button, we could copy it to something else very easily. Now, to the title of this video, do you actually need this device? Well, just like anything, you don't absolutely need it. You need food, water, shelter, that kind of thing. But for most people, I would argue that they don't need this device. There are a few practical things that I find myself going to the Flipper more than any other device, and that's honestly its infrared capability. It is one of the strongest infrared transmitters that I have used or experienced. That is actually quite fun for doing little pranks and stuff like turning off TVs in a Walmart and changing channels and that kind of stuff. But I find it just really useful in my office for switching the inputs on my monitor and also turning off the television when I told the kids to get off of it and they didn't.
To use extreme measures in emergency combat situations.
This is still my precinct around.
It's even at my pillow fight.
No way, Holmes.
Yes, pillow fight.
Another reason you probably don't need this is it's not going to do things for Wi-Fi. If you wanted to play around with Wi-Fi like you could with a Ponagachi, then you probably need to wait until the Flipper 1 is released, or you buy the Wi-Fi development board for the Flipper 0 and figure out how to play around with that. Those scripts do exist, but the level of legality, I'll let you decide on that one. Further, this device doesn't handle rolling codes. And what do I mean specifically by that? Well, a car, you can't just click a car's fob in front of it, have it copy that signal, and then expect to just be able to replay it every time and open the same car. Cars, garage doors, property gates like in an apartment complex or condos, those have a rolling code system so that you can't just copy this signal off and replay it. Again, all of this technology has existed for a really long time, people trying to copy codes and replay them. So the Flipper 1 doesn't bring anything new to the table there because it can't do rolling codes in that sense, breaking and entering, waiting outside somebody's house and like recording it with the Flipper so you can get inside really isn't possible out of the box that it sits in right now. There are firmwares that you can mess with and reload the Flipper to run different software, and obviously it has that development board that I mentioned before that you can do some more stuff with, but just keep that in mind, that's not really what this does right out of the box. But if you were so inclined, you could take your car's key fob and the Flipper, walk way far away from your car, point the unlock button at your Flipper 0, record that signal, come back to your car, and then replay that signal to your car, and that would unlock your car, but that's a one-time deal, and that key is then expended, and you'd have to delete that recording on the Flipper and do the whole process again. So yeah, there's a bit of fussing you can do to make it work, but it's not really convenient or reliable in that sense. Now, for me, I'll give you my top 3 things why I like it is obviously the infrared that I mentioned. The sub-G radio, of course, is really cool. That frequency counter, being able to see exactly what the frequency is, and then play with some amount of modulation is really, really handy and fun. I do also like the NFC tag type of control that you can get with replaying those type of things, like a hotel key card, for instance. That's quite handy. Badges, credit cards, it's actually quite useful on a personal level. Again, that's where we start dipping into the lines of illegality, so, do the right thing, right? If you have a Flipper 0 or are in the world of lamenting your inaccessibility to get one, post a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Maybe you leave a little review in there as well. If you are new to my channel, the Ham Radio Crash Course, the Flipper 0 and Ham Radio have a bit of an overlap as far as a Venn diagram, so if you've been thinking about getting your amateur radio license or getting more involved in the world of radio frequencies, maybe just listening, having some fun with the short waves and whatnot, consider subscribing. I'm posting a link right now to a video that you might enjoy in getting started in amateur radio. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you later. See ya. Obviously, there's games. There's a snake game. Miscellaneous is a music player, which literally plays the Marble Machine song, which is kind of funny. Yeah, anyway, you get the idea.